Good morning. Good morning. It's exactly 8 a.m. on a wonderful Monday morning. I want to believe we all had a wonderful weekend and looking forward to a productive week. Those of you who've been following up with us, today we are in the 54th day of the 100 days of national productivity. I hope you've used your 54 days wisely and made something useful out of them and have been very productive in whatever area of your setting you may be in. So those of you who have been following us have noticed that the past few weeks we've been covering topics on financial management for productivity. Various subtopics in there covered were things like budgeting for productivity, the art of savings, debt management, and financial freedom. And today we are just covering general tips or financial management tips that will help us to continue to be productive wherever you may be. In this session, we will share practical financial tips that will help you manage your money wisely to enable you make better financial decisions and help you build a stable and productive future. So it's covering quite a lot of topics, but just some tips that will make it very, very practical for us to start thinking about managing our money properly. Like I've always said, most of these topics are biblically based because management of finances is a biblical injunction of stewardship, good stewardship. And so being cognizant of your financial matters is a stewardship responsibility. Thinking through these matters will help you avoid crisis. And so especially as you get older, for those of you who are younger, for those of you who are older, it will help you lessen your stress. There's already enough stressors around us. And so let not the management of finances be another stressor. And so being a biblical injunction, I'll just start off by sharing a verses from Matthew 25, verse 14 to 30. You find a similar story in Luke 19, verses 12 to 27, where Jesus tells a story of the parable of the talents, of a master who entrusted his property to three of his workers. To one, he gave 5, to another, he gave 2, to another, he gave 1, respectively, before he left for a long, long journey. The servant with 5 talents and 2 talents invested these talents and doubled their amounts. What did they get in the end of it? Oh, it was praise and greater responsibility given to them by their master. While the servant with the 1 talent, who buried it out of fear, was condemned as a wicked and slothful man. So it is actually wickedness, not being able to manage our finances. So, and then there's another verb in Proverbs 13:11, which talks about money earned in a dishonest manner. What happens is when you don't manage your finances properly, you get so desperate that now you want shortcuts to getting money. Now, those shortcuts may not be honoring to God, may not even be honoring to your nation where you live. They may be construed as thefts. And you may think it's initiative, but it's theft. It's money earned in a dishonest manner. This money does not last, unfortunately. It dwindles away. But he who gathers money little by little makes it grow. So let's start planning now so that we have enough time to manage and grow our money little by little. So what are some of these tips that I'm going to talk about? Now, remember, God wants us to remember that all our wealth belongs to him, and having money saved up takes out a lot of stress out of our lives and allow us to take better care and control of our families, and also allows us to take better care of others, those that may be more vulnerable than you are, more needy than you are. And they free us with more time to easily follow God's plan for our lives. We are not desperate. Now we are managing our lives and everything's just flowing smoothly. And all this will enable you contribute towards national productivity. If you are successful in your own little setting, there's a ripple effect on the national benefits. You start maybe growing yourself, employing other people, and then those people are taking care of families. They are no longer on the streets. and everybody is working, and the benefit becomes a national benefit. So you may not realize that you are actually contributing to the growth of the Zambian economy by managing your personal finances effectively. So these are all haphazard, but there are things that I hope you take away one or two things from them. So one of them, which is my key one, is financial freedom. The last topic I talked about. What will happen if you lost your job today? Do you have sufficient money to live on at the same standard of living for the next 3 months? If you don't, then you need to start working towards creating an emergency fund equivalent to your 3 months financial, 3 months earnings, which is either your salary or what you get in your business. Are you in debt? If so, what type of debt do you have? Is it a capital debt, one that brings income into your business or helps you save money? Or is it a consumer debt, one that leads you to bigger debts and distress? If you are in capital debt, that's well and good. If you're in consumer debt, please work towards clearing those debts ASAP. Today, come up with a plan on how you will start paying off those debts. Do you have other sources of income? If you don't, think of another source of income that you can add to your line of income. What is it that you can do that can bring you additional income? Do you invest in acquiring financial knowledge? Or have you been in the same position for the last 30, 40 years, depending on your age? If you are not satisfied with where you are in your finances, you may need to invest in acquiring financial knowledge. Pay somebody to teach you. Go to your financial advisor, go to school, read books, buy books that talk about people that have been successful in managing their finances. So invest in your financial knowledge. And then the Bible talks about leaving an inheritance for your children and children's children. What inheritance do you have lined up for your children and children's children? If you don't, then you're not being a good steward. You brought those children into this world. Whatever they may come out to be, you're still responsible ultimately for who they are and how they will survive on this earth. If when you die, they resort to stealing because they do not have anything, then you are a failure in that aspect because you have not left your children something and you have not even empowered them to be independent financially. Do you have any passive income? Passive income is that money that you earn without having to exert any energy from yourself. You may be sleeping and earning money. For instance, passive income is when you have invested in the stock exchange and your shares are growing and you're earning a dividend. You don't have to go to work every morning to earn that dividend. You just be sleeping and waiting for time for those shares to appreciate in value and the company to do well and pay you a dividend. Or you have a rental property where you're just sleeping and the rental income is coming in. Or you have a business that is also running on autopilot. For instance, those who have franchises in KFC or Hungry Lion or whatever it may be that will sell a franchise, you are sleeping, people are working for you. That is passive income. If you don't, think of a line that you can take that will earn you that passive income. What do you know what your most valuable resource is? What is your most valuable resource? It is not money, unfortunately. Time is your most valuable resource. Time, as you look at, increases your financial base. Aim to have more and better control of your time. And this has a direct effect on money management. Because if you're just a time waster looking for a way to chill every weekend, who to hang out every weekend, while your friends are making money, then you're wasting your resources. Aim to earn passive income, like I said, using your time. Don't get into a business that you do not know anything of. Just because everybody is making money in chicken rearing and you also want to go into chicken rearing. No. If you do not know anything in that business, do not go into it. Start a business where you have some passion. If you are passionate about cooking good food, you may want to go into a business that leads in. Yesterday, I was talking to a young lady who prepares very, very lovely snacks at our church. She cooks very good recipes and so on. And she was telling me how this next month, she's going to run a class where she'll be teaching young ladies different recipes. The first class she did was on preparing assorted snacks. I said, that is what I call entrepreneurship. You're looking for a business where you already have passion. So you have already got a starting point. If you're good at, it may not be the same line. Like she's gone into preparing of snacks. She does corporate service and stuff like that. She can even go into bakery related products or services. So just start with a passion. What are you passionate about? What line of passion, and see what areas of business you can engage yourself in your area of passion. If you're a networker, you may need to do something to do with marketing. I have a brother who's very strong in networking, and his businesses are all on networking basis. And I love that because that's where his passion is. And he excels when he works in those areas. So what is it that you're passionate about? Financial planning requires discipline and commitment. So whatever you come up with in terms of your financial plan, be disciplined enough to stay on track and be committed. It's not just going to happen. You have to build the discipline. My husband is very disciplined when it comes to a lot of things in his life, but one area that I really envy him is the discipline on exercise. He's committed. It doesn't matter who is at home or what he's doing, he will always find time to go and exercise. If we have a function that coincides with his time for exercise, he will actually wake up early in the morning and do his exercise. And I'm like, why are you waking up so early? So it's because we're going for dinner tonight. I'm like, oh, okay. So that is what I call discipline and commitment. You have to shift a lot of things in order to make sure that you remain committed and disciplined to your plans. And knowing about something is not sufficient. You need to actually do it. Doing is what is cardinal. That's where a lot of us fail. We have a lot of notes on financial management, a lot of notes on many different topics. But because we do not do what we have written in our notes, we remain in the same status quo. Same status quo. In the Mindset Change Process program, we have the 4 Ds, which encourage us to act. Do it. Whatever you learn, do it. Apply it. If you don't do it, delegate to somebody. If you cannot delegate, defer it to another day. If you don't do it the next day, maybe you want to consider deleting it. It's past due. You may not even now, it may not be worth looking at now because it's past the time when you should have done it. So the 3 Ds, remember, do it, or delegate, or defer it, or delete it. Do you have any savings? Not just temporary savings, long-term savings I'm talking about. If you don't think about long-term savings, do you have a budget? If not, create a budget and stick to that budget. Don't just have a budget for the sake of having a budget. Stick to it. Do what you have committed to do in that budget. Yes, you may vary it as you are running a budget, but as long as you have it, if you take away from one thing or you add something to a budget line, no way you're going to take away from. If you budgeted 100 kwacha for transport and now transport has doubled, it's going to be 200. Where are you going to remove that 100? So don't just spend 200 without intentionally looking at your budget and adjusting the line that will cover that extra 100 that you need to shift your transport. Avoid impulse spending. Just spending. You just wake up and just want to do something. You go and spend. Spend what you have committed to spend. Impulse spending is where you just go and buy things haphazardly. Some things may be inevitable, yes, once in a while, but when you do that, like I said, go to your budget, shift a line and accommodate that impulse spending. Avoid going shopping when you're hungry. Going shopping when you're hungry is very, very tempting to start buying things that you do not need. You'll find bread is smelling so fresh, you buy bread. You go to the other section where they're frying Hungarian sausages, you buy Hungarian sausage. So you start buying all these things that are just smelling good, because yes, your taste buds, your sense of smell is actually triggering your brain to say, you need this, you need this. And there you go all the way shopping, buying things that you don't need. So avoid going shopping when you're hungry. Always have a snack before you go shopping if you don't have time to have a meal, or plan your shopping after you've had your full meal. You'll see how you'll manage your budget or your shopping better. Set specific goals, smarter goals. We've talked about those. Set those goals and stick to those goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound, exciting, and risk and reviewed goals. Assess the risk of those goals. Make bite-sized money goals. Don't make big goals. Start with small goals, bite-sized, like a little bite. Something that will make you feel good at the end of the day. Say, I've achieved this. If you start by saying, I want to save 100,000 kwacha. Now, to save 100,000 kwacha, yes, it's a good thing, but you have to start by saving 100 kwacha. When you've saved 100, put a tick on your to-do things and say, I made it. You saved 100. So make bite-sized goals, things that you can easily manage. Get money buddies. Have a friend, those with similar ambitions, or those, like they say, birds of the same feather flock together. Those who have similar feathers like yours. Talk about similar things. Those are the ones who will encourage you. If you get bad money buddies, they will discourage you. Whatever you say, they will laugh at you. You think you can save 100,000. You think you can build a house, or you think you can do whatever. Because they don't have similar goals, there will be a discouragement, and they definitely will discourage you, and you'll start feeling discouraged, and you'll give up along the way. But get money buddies that will motivate you, that will hold you accountable, and that you can hold accountable. That way, it will be good. I have my money buddies. We have 4 girlfriends that we work together. As a matter of fact, we set up a company. Every month, we'll save a certain amount of money. We started saving a long time ago. Every month, everybody puts in a certain amount of money. And that money built up to a certain amount that we were able to embark on a big investment project. So these are money buddies. We used to meet just for coffee, chatting, good old days, talk about school. Then we said, guys, when all of us happen to be in finance, except for one who's in legal, but all of us talk the same language. And we are doing very well. Now there's only 4 of us. And even yesterday, Saturday, we're talking about what next. Because now we've moved to another level. So money buddies are very good to have. Even 1 or 2 will be enough. And then spend money. Sorry, this one. If I talked about debt, if you are already in debt, start paying off those smaller debts. They'll give you satisfaction that you've crossed over. Start paying off the smallest debt today. If you have any debts today, strategize on how you can clear that one small debt that can be annoying. Just clear it, get it off your way. Spend money of experiences rather than on things to get more happier for your bucks. So, experiences. Money spent on experience is better than money just spent on consumption for nothing. What am I talking about? Plan for holidays. Go and see those big things that you always read about and never got to see. I was so privileged to go to Turkey to see the 7 churches that are talked about in Revelations. It was such an experience, seeing those churches in real life. When I read about them in the Bible, they just look like they're up in the air. But when I went and saw the church of Ephesus, oh my goodness, it was so inspiring. So experiences are very good things to spend money on. If you've never been to Livingstone, Victoria Falls, go to Livingstone. My father-in-law lived in Livingstone, and he has been around for 90-something years, visited Livingstone several times, but he had never been to the Victoria Falls. And when we asked him when he was in his 70s, why haven't you been to Livingstone? He says, but it's always going to be here. I'll go whenever I'm ready to go. Now he's in 90-something. I don't think he's ready to go to Livingstone on a holiday. So save on for experiences. Very, very important. If you have a family, give your children an experience as well. It may not be very far, not Turkey, but it can even be an experience. Like maybe your kids have never gone for dinner in a restaurant or in a hotel. Let it be an experience. They will grow up to remember that experience. But to do that, you need to have planned for it financially. Have a savings plan. A savings plan. How are you going to start saving? And have it ASAP. Whenever you get extra income or a pay raise, take some of it towards your savings for retirement. Retirement will come whether you like it or not. Retirement is on its way. Whether we like it or not, we are all going to retire. It's just that some of us were born earlier than some of you. It makes you feel good that you still have years. Yes, we too were where you are, but suddenly we're in retirement age. We don't qualify for certain things anymore because we are over the age of retirement. So we can't get employed. One of my friends was like, I'm looking for jobs, but nobody's employing me. They're politely not saying you're over age, but they're just finding all sorts of reasons not to give me the job. She feels strong enough to work. She looks young. She's energetic, but her NRC sells her off. She's over 60. And so they're not looking for over 60s in jobs. So if you have not saved for retirement, you cannot work for retirement and your body will fail you. The body is fragile. It's going weaker and weaker as you get older. So you cannot even count on your body doing anything for you to earn money. So anytime you have extra money, young people, start saving towards your retirement. Have a retirement account. Try to save up to 3 to 6 to 9 months of your income, like I said earlier on. Pay attention to fees. Whatever you engage yourself in, if you're going to borrow money, read and find out what are the hidden fees. If you're going to save money in a bank, find out what are the hidden fees, bank charges. So always engage your bank to find out what are the fees, what are the repercussions of me doing this with you. You'll find if you shop around, there are some banks whose fees are way lower than others. You may want to consider saving money because that little saving or in fees can go a long way towards building your savings account. Do not guarantee a loan for a friend. Do not co-sign a loan for a friend. However close you are in your friendship, if you want that friendship to last, please, for goodness sake, do not guarantee a loan for a friend. You will lose that friendship in no time. You will lose that friendship in no time because guaranteeing a loan for your friend is as good as you having that loan. Not that you don't trust your friend. In the event of an eventuality that she's not or he's not able to pay back that loan, guess what? You shall be held accountable for that loan. And you may not even have the means to be able to do that. People have lost property because of guaranteeing loans for friends, sadly. And the friendships which have been long invested have been lost or soured. So just be a friend to a friend. Do not guarantee anything or co-sign any for them. Never pledge your principal residence for a loan. Please, for goodness sake, you spend so much time and money to build that dream house that you live in. However lucrative a deal may look like, do not put your house as collateral. You can lose that house in a split of a second. You will be homeless in a split of a second. And people will not bail you out at that moment because when the bank comes to foreclose or the microfinance, whoever you borrowed from, they will not give you time to go look for that money. Even if they did, who will lend you money to bail yourself from hundreds of thousands of kwacha? Never, never, never pledge your principal residence. Buy a peace of mind. How? By buying insurance. Buy insurance. Guys, those of you who are younger than 65, please, insurance is a very good thing. Life insurance. I talked about life insurance to my friend when she turned 60. I asked her, I said, you are 60. Do you have a life insurance policy? She said, no. I said, Monet, you need a life insurance policy. She says, wow, but they're expensive. I said, but they buy you a peace of mind. She listened. She went and bought a policy of a very good sum. Very good sum. 10 digits. She contributed maybe 2 years and passed on. Guess what? Her family is set. Her family is set. So if you don't have a life policy, just know that one day you'll die. One day you'll kick the bucket. Nobody knows when they'll die. We're not going to die when we're 100 or 90 something. You could die even today. And if you had a policy even 1 week old, guess what? The insurance company will pay off. They'll pay off your policy to whoever the beneficiaries are. Even for your cars. Yes, it may look expensive, but when you get into that accident, you'll appreciate that you did buy insurance policy. So buying a peace of mind is actually buying insurance policy over your life, over your property, and over your sickness. You can buy a health policy. Even a funeral plan, you can actually buy. This thing of somebody dies, setting up committees, let's contribute, can be avoided if you're smart enough to buy a funeral plan. Just tell 1 or 2 family members and direct them to the insurance company where you bought a funeral plan. You die, they will not stress starting to raise money. No, coffin. That should not be a language of people who are civilized, who've had the opportunity to manage their finances well. Buy a life policy. Buy a gravesite. Memorial Park does sell burial sites. You know that. Buy a gravesite. Don't stress your family to come and look for a spot near what. Just organize and say to our family, let's buy 10. We all want to be buried in one area. Buy that plot. I know some people think it's bad domain, calling death. There's nothing like that. It's just being organized and being somebody purposeful and somebody who plans well. Get paid what you are worth and spend less than what you earn. Get paid what you are worth. When you're looking for a job and they ask you, what salary would you like? Whatever you can give me. Is that what you are worth? You should know what you are worth. You studied, you worked, you have experience. You have value in you that you are offering to the job that you are applying for. So you know what you are worth. So get paid what you are worth. Let the company appreciate you. Just don't negotiate certain things unless you're that desperate. But if you know what you are worth, you will not be desperate because you will wait until you get the right job that will appreciate what is in you. What is it that you can deliver? And once you get that job, do not spend everything that you earn. Spend less than what you earn. Live within your means. That's contentment, living within your means. Create a will and update your will as things change. A will with a capital W. What would you like done for your assets when you die? Plan for your after death. Create a will. If you don't, you will leave chaos here on earth. Even those people never visited you will come for the funeral when they hear there's a will. And they will look like they're the closest to you. They may even lie and say, the will speak to you for you after you are dead. That is your last testament, your voice when you are gone. What is it that you would like done for your property, your money? Who would you like to benefit? And in that will, please do not make life uncomfortable for your children. Don't be over selfish. Consider going outside the obvious. Yes, like I said, leave an inheritance for your children and children's children. But remember, we are social beings. In Africa, we live as a social system where we have other people that you know have been in your life that are vulnerable, that may need your support. Keep track of your expenses when you're running your life and your business. Learn self-control. To keep your finances in order, you have to be self-controlled. Don't just be loose on your spending. Build your wealth in your 30s. Consolidate your wealth in your 50s. Enjoy your wealth in your 60s. Build in your 30s and 40s. Consolidate in your 50s. Enjoy in your 50s, in your 60s. And thereafter, leave it for those that you cared to bring on earth. Protect and safeguard your wealth. Oh, we're running out of time. The last one I'll give you is always assess your net worth. Your net worth is your assets on one side, your liabilities on your other side. Always compare these two sides of your life. How are you doing on your asset side? What's the value of your house? How much money do you have in the bank? What's the value of your car? What's the value of your jewelry? All these valuable things, add them up together. If they add up to, say, 50,000 kwacha, on the other side, look at the liabilities you have. What's the value of your outstanding mortgage? How much money do you owe people? And so on. If it's 70,000 kwacha, you are negative, you are in danger. Work towards reducing the liability side. Your balance sheet should always have your left side bigger than your right side, your assets bigger than your liabilities. I will end here on account of time. I hope you've picked up one or two tips. I've said about 41 tips, and I want all of you to at least apply five of those that I've talked about. And if you give me a call, I'll probably surprise you when you've achieved those 5 in the week. Let's continue to be productive and add towards our national productivity by managing our finances well. Shalom, shalom. Have a wonderful day, people. I love you all. God bless you.